Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a challenge that, let's be honest, every writer faces. How do you take all those great ideas swimming around in your head and turn them into a really solid, perfect paragraph? Well, we're going to break down a simple but super powerful blueprint for that called the TIDE strategy. Let's get right to it. You know the feeling, right? You're just staring at that blank page. The cursor is blinking. You've got the ideas. You know what you want to say, but actually getting them organized into something powerful, that feels like a huge mountain to climb. And that is exactly the problem we are going to solve today. So what's the real challenge here? It's usually not a lack of good ideas. It all comes down to structure. It's that tricky, sometimes frustrating gap between knowing what you want to say and actually building a paragraph that makes your point land perfectly with your reader. But here's the good news. There is a simple 4-step blueprint that can fix this. Seriously, think of it like a mental checklist, a little recipe you can use every single time you write to make sure your paragraphs are strong, focused, and totally persuasive. And today, you're going to learn it. So let's meet the TIDE strategy. The name is just perfect, isn't it? Just like the tide, it's this predictable, powerful force that gives your writing some incredible structure. This 4-step plan is about to become your new secret weapon for writing. So what is it exactly? Well, the TIDE strategy is just a really practical method for getting your thoughts in order. It's a tool that helps you create these clear, well-developed paragraphs. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to explain a really complex idea or build a convincing argument. It just works. And here's how it all breaks down. It's a super simple acronym, TIDE. T is for your topic sentence. What's the main idea here? I is for important evidence. What fact or quote do you have that backs it up? D is for detailed explanation. This is where you explain why that evidence is so important. And E is for the ending sentence that just wraps it all up in a neat little bow. Simple, right? Okay, theory is one thing, but let's actually put this into practice. We're going to take a real paragraph and break it down piece by piece using that TIDE framework so you can see exactly how it all comes together. All right, so take a look at this paragraph. It's arguing that middle schoolers should get more breaks. It sounds pretty solid. It feels like a good argument. But why does it work so well? Let's use TIDE to figure it out, starting with that very first sentence. First up, we have our T, the topic sentence. Look at that first line. Boom! Middle school students should get more breaks during the day. It is absolutely perfect. It's a clear, direct statement that tells me, the reader, exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. No confusion, no mystery, just a really strong start.
Okay, next we hit the I, important evidence. See, the writer doesn't just give their opinion, they back it up. They say, research shows. This fact that students actually focus better after a short break is the crucial piece of support for their main idea. It gives the argument some real weight.
And here, you guys, this is where the magic really happens. This is the D, the detailed explanation. It is not enough to just drop a fact and walk away. You have to explain why it matters. This part connects the dots. It shows how brain breaks lead to being more ready to learn and staying on task. This is the bridge between your evidence and your main point. And finally, we've got our E, the ending sentence. It so neatly summarizes the whole point by just restating that main idea in a fresh way. This is why longer or more frequent breaks would benefit students. It just gives you that sense of closure and really hammers home the paragraph's core message. So, now that we've seen TIDE in action, let's talk about how you can make it your own. Because the best part about this is that it's not some rigid, strict rule. It is a totally flexible tool. If you're just starting out with this, there are some awesome ways to make it stick. Things like color coding the different parts of a paragraph or using sentence starters, like the evidence shows that or this matters because. Those can be incredibly helpful for building that writing muscle memory. And what's really cool is that TIDE totally grows with you. For writers who are just getting started, a great tip is to use sticky notes. Seriously, one for T, one for I, and so on. Arrange them on your desk before you even start typing. But for more advanced writers who want to build a bigger argument, you can expand the formula. You could try a TIDE structure. Topic sentence, first piece of evidence with its explanation, then a second piece of evidence with its explanation, and then your ending sentence. It really lets you build a more robust case. So let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, this is all about moving from that feeling of uncertainty to having complete confidence in your writing.
At its heart, Tide is about transforming writing from a guessing game into a clear, straightforward plan. It's your simple, reliable recipe that you can use to build strong, effective, and persuasive paragraphs every single time you sit down to write. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's the first big idea you're going to organize with Tide? Whether it's an email for work, a school paper, or just getting your thoughts down, give this framework a try. I think you'll be amazed at how much clearer and more powerful your writing becomes.